I thought it lost it about 4 or 5 years ago. So I was way too early to that conversation, I think. But not to be a downer, but look, we're and I joked about this before, years ago. But like, if we kept going down the road, we're going to be throwing it back to me in like 2018. So like, at some point, I think we gotta chill on it a little bit. I think we've rode the horse to death, and we tend to do that a little bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to get all the different people to line up to pull it off. And for my car this weekend, we have Caster on it. We did throwbacks last few times here. It's kind of like we ran out a little bit of energy to pull off one that was good enough to make a mark, so to speak. And the other thing is, these are well, at least for us, we have global brands on our cars, and they have global initiatives and things that are going on, and they want to make sure they hit those. So with limited windows to do that, it's not always, it doesn't always work out. I think kind of body of work on the throwback stuff, we've done a lot, and I'm really proud of what we've done. And maybe this year wasn't obviously our greatest for making that happen, but I suspect that'll come back around in the years to come. Yeah, it's a big lift, without a doubt, for the marketing and partnership teams that are inside all these organizations to make it happen. There's a lot of conversations, and it takes months of planning, maybe even years of planning in some cases to execute. And I was having this conversation with Kevin Harvick a few weeks ago when we were talking about when he ran the 29 during the All-Star race. And I know that's not this, but it's calls with partners, it's calls with trademarks, it's calls over. I mean, you kind of get to the point where you're like, I just want to go race, But when you do get the project done, and you see it on the track, or you hear from the fans, and whether it be social media or wherever else it might be, and when you've hit a good one, it's definitely worth it.
I don't think so. I mean, I guess that there's less paint schemes this week than normal. But if you look at the Xfinity Series, there's probably more than ever. So I still think there's a ton of buy-in still. I think it's hard with anything. Anytime you do something for a long time, like, not that it loses its luster, but it's not as exciting, right, as the first time or the second time. So I think just trying to find ways to keep it exciting, it's just hard, right? Like, you run out of things to change after you do it for a while. But for me, it's something that I love about this weekend. Every time you come here, there's that old school feel. But then when you walk in the garage and you see old paint schemes and stuff, it's a cool part of the whole weekend. So yeah, I don't have a throwback this weekend. This is the first time I've never ran one. But I don't feel like this weekend has really lost its luster. I think that the fans still love the paint schemes that are here. And just anytime you come to Darlington, it's kind of got an old school throwback feel, whether we're throwback weekend or not.